That was very loud.
Yeah.
Because, well, this is the loud fan. This is the loud fan, so I'm always like, ooh.
Dumb.
Yeah, this is not the closest thing I have to Mexico, but it was the first fan that I found today. So
you know what? It's fine.
I have a lot of options now, so it's one of those. It's one of the other things I have to think about whenever I come to a podcast now. But anyway, muñecas, oli, y bienvenidos a The Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, say something gay. I've got water, of course, because hydration is very important, but I actually don't have my cup mug with me today, which is very sad. Go get yours at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. We do ship domestically within North America and internationally, so there are no excuses I left it at my boyfriend's house. But what I do have is a new mug, and it's a RuPaul mug.
Oh, slay.
Ooh. Because I just got back from Vegas. I'm so sorry. Vegas. So, I picked up a gorge, lovely, wonderful RuPaul mug, along with other things, which I will be showing off throughout this whole weekend of podcasting. So go check out our coverage of the Canada vs. the World finale and Global All-Stars to see what else I purchased with money at the workroom that they literally have at the Flamingo Las Vegas. It's very fun.
Oh, that sounds like a great time.
Oh, it was so much fun. This isn't a RuPaul's Drag Race live podcast, but I will say the show was wonderful.
If only I could go. Anyways.
And we will be talking about someone that I saw on the show later this weekend on a franchise of Drag Race. I wonder which one.
Oh my God, how fun. Woo! Okay. Well, anyways, hola, I am Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I'm here to talk shit, get hit. Today I'm drinking an energy drink, a blueberry energy drink, and it kind of tastes like chemical burn. So, great. It's great. It's wonderful. I'm having a lovely time. Is it the
chemical burn from the Spiral Perm Trixie Mattel?
Yes, it is.
Great.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Good.
Hi, for your Brazilian first one here on the cup. And today I don't have a mug, but I do have a cute cup. And I'm just drinking some water out of this Woody Woodpecker cup.
Cute. I love
That's
that.
adorable.
Yes.
Love. And I'll be 100% honest with y'all. What I did not love was this episode of Drag Race Mexico.
Yeah, no. This episode was rough.
The least enjoyable episode of the season, I gotta be honest. And this season has been so good, as we've continually talked about. But this episode, and I say it all the time. I say it several times a year at this point. I hate the makeover challenge.
Yeah.
And this episode proved once again why I hate it.
Yeah. Also, we need to get this out of the way right now. Enormous trigger warning for this episode. Enormous trigger warning. We will be talking about several sensitive subjects today. So if you don't want to deal with that, please take your time. It's okay. You can
specifically regarding essay things. Yeah. I'll give that as well. If there will be timestamps down below for that stuff. So just so you are aware of when we specifically talk about it. It'll be part of the chapters going on around here. So make sure to check that out because the show didn't give us one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Drag Race Mexico. Maybe take a page out of Drag Race Philippines where they do give several, and very long trigger warnings. Thank you, Drag Race Philippines. Go check out our coverage of Drag Race Philippines.
And we had 3 episodes over the last 10 days where this was a topic. So it was just it's a lot. I get it, but like because it was so one after the other, it's a lot.
It's just one of those things that you never expect to happen. Then it's like, oh Jesus,
Yeah,
all of the, whew. Yes. But we're going to dive into all of that. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we are here almost all the time, giving you almost all things drag. Currently, that means still a lot of drag this week. We've got the finale of Canada versus the World. We've got Drag Race Philippines. We've got Global All-Stars. And now we do know that we have Drag Race España and Drag Race UK on the horizon. So we'll be here talking about all of those. And make sure to check the description below where you can find our audio podcast links, all of our other YouTube channels, because we got 4 channels doing a lot of content from across the television universe. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive content and early access, including early access to the Look Over Here episodes for all the franchises we are currently covering. So thank you in advance. But we come back into the workroom. Unique is gone, and so is Janeri, because we find out that she got injured during the lip sync.
Her foot got hurt.
I was like, no, this is not how Janeri goes. No,
not this late in the competition. Like, no,
no.
I would have been gagged if it did happen.
I would have been so upset.
Yeah.
It would have been Gabby, honestly, because what would they have done if she like got hurt for real? Anyway,
if she got hurt for real,
they probably still would have done this. They probably still would have done this episode and just double shantaed.
Yeah, or do a top 2 lip sync for the win.
Something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually wouldn't have wanted it to be that way, because they probably would have found another way to rig the winner. Because we'll talk about it, but. But yes, we come into the workroom the next day. Tyga and Lolita are looking so good. Again, Lolita's Pride Progress knitted situation. I don't even know what it was, just like all like threads instead of just like actual like fabric or something like that. I loved it. I want it. I think I would look great in it. But they get all of their messages from home, which I did love. And had I not known that it was a loved one's makeover challenge, I would have found this whole segment a little bit more. It would have hit harder if we did not know. Exactly. But I love the way that they did this too. Yeah, because this is a very unique way. Unique is to do unique things now. But this was a very unique way that they went about revealing it, because they literally did it like it was okay, stop, we need to check audio things, which we've seen those before, and then we get the reveal of the loved ones, and I thought that was a really fun, cool, and different thing that I haven't seen done on Drag Race before. Yeah, it was a very smart way to kind of surprise the queens when they're like kind of off guard. Right. They were all kind of just like, huh?
And I think that's why they played all of the videos and then did that, because the girls wouldn't be expecting it for it to happen, because they just had the videos, so they were like thrown off. So
yeah, no, I loved the way that they did this. I thought it was so smart to do it this way. But we then find out the maxi challenge for the week is the makeover challenge. Yay! With a runway theme that is different than it normally is. Yeah. We are doing luchadoras exóticas as our specific runway for this. I kind of wish they didn't. Yeah, to be real honest, kind of wish they didn't. I understand why they chose to do this. Luchadoras are a big part of our culture. Of course. It's like a big thing here, so it made a lot of sense for me. But for a makeover, it felt a little weird to do this category, especially later taking on the fact that the looks aren't the thing that mattered. It mattered more the performance of it, and so it was a whole thing. And we'll get is to that it. What mattered? Because I don't even know if that
was so weird. We will get to
it. But also, if you wanted to do a luchador Runway, which I love. I love the idea because I know it is such an integral part of Mexican culture, and I love it. Why can we get rid of one of the 40,000 food runways that we did on this season and just replace it with a luchador runway? Honestly, that's where I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it felt very odd to have this category as a makeover.
yeah, I just hate this challenge. So it's, I just hate this challenge. I really do.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think a makeover shouldn't have a category because the point of the makeover is to make the other person look like your drag family. So, for example, if you're a drag queen that luchador aesthetic has absolutely nothing to do with who you are at all,
Alexa.
and then you have to make someone over and fit into the theme, and like it just adds so many layers. Exactly. But yeah, it's unnecessary layers that hindered the girls from giving us, the audience, a better result. So I don't understand this choice. But
yeah,
I do love when they do makeover challenges with family or friends. I do love that.
Yes.
Yeah,
instead of like a random whatever theme, like teachers or whatever, you know.
I will say
firefighters.
I was going to say the only makeover challenge that hasn't been family that I have loved recently. Actually, it was both of the US seasons this year because I did actually really like the firefighter one because it ended up being really fun. And I also really liked not to bring up Drag Race Live again. I did not mean to do that, but when they did the dancers from Drag Race Live on season 16, I thought that was very fun.
Yeah, it was really good.
I was gonna say the lesbian ones, with the lesbians. I love that because wasn't it All Stars 8?
All Stars 8.
Yes, I love that one.
Oh, you mean the challenge that robbed Jessica Wilde of her win? Yeah, I hated it.
Yeah, I hate most of the.
But I agree with you completely. Challenges. Love lesbians.
Yeah, love lesbians, and we got
shout out to our lesbians. If you're a lesbian, let us know in the comments. I want to know.
Lesbian rights, and we got a great lesbian this episode as well. We got a great lesbian this episode.
We did. Yes,
we did, and we will talk about her in a lot.
Oh yeah.
Well, it is the time to talk about the workroom segment. So go right ahead, Eduardo.
Okay. So should we start with, since we brought her up, should we start with Lexa?
I say we go through everyone's and then end with Janeri. I think that's the smart way to do it.
The best choice to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's talk about Lexa and her sister.
Her big sister, the lesbian. It was such an adorable moment when they were talking. It felt really like great to have like this representation as well, to have a lesbian in the workroom in this very queer room. I always love a representation like this. It was a lot. This was one of our 5 Emmy moments that we got this episode, where Lexa's sister brought up the fact that she had to struggle quite a bit when she herself was coming out, and she kind of paved the path for Lexa, so that once she came out, it was just a very like a smoother sailing like road. And so it was a very adorable moment to see Lexa's sister just adore her so much and support her so much, and to see that someone like her paved the path for Lexa. It just brings people together, and it made my heart melt. It was really nice.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons that I love having family or chosen family, like friends, for the makeover, because we always get to know the queens on a different level. And like, I don't think we would have seen this side of Lexa if they didn't bring her sister there, and I'm glad that we get to see it. And yeah, their story, I don't have siblings, so I don't personally relate, but I am the oldest of my cousins, so I kind of understand that, like, having to be the example and like being judged like your family judges you over everything, and then you go through everything and then your cousins have it easier than you, or your
Yeah.
siblings. Like the next
I
generation will have it easier. So I get that.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
I relate to that directly because I'm of my line of cousins, I'm second oldest.
Mhm.
And my younger cousin came out as well. Oh, this would have been like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, I think. And I absolutely love her. Like she is. I love all of my cousins. In case none of them are watching this. None of them are watching this. I can tell you that much. But she is one that like we've always had a really good bond. Because I always would go and visit her and her brothers and my aunt in San Diego for summers. So her and I have always had like a very, very close relationship. And for both of us to be the two gay cousins amongst our group, I do, whether anyone involved will admit it or not, I do think me coming out definitely made her process a lot easier. So, shout out to her. I love you, MJ. Speaking of chosen family, as we were talking about, let's talk about Electra and her daughter, basically.
Yeah, basically.
And I love this relationship, and I love hearing about this specifically because we do see this a lot in drag houses, in ball houses, like things like that. Where she was talking about how Marty is part of her drag family, even though she doesn't do drag.
Mhm.
And that her and her partner have basically like adopted her. And I'm like, that's a really sweet, cute moment that I just, yeah.
Yeah, it just, yet again, it shows that the queer community just always is looking to support each other. And it was just a very adorable moment to have someone like Electra kind of bring up the softer side of herself, because we haven't seen it so far. We've seen like Electra be very, what's the word? Very calculated in what she does and very focused.
Yeah.
And so having this softer side of Electra was really nice. And the fact that her daughter, I will just say that she's her daughter, right out of her, is just really adorable. And I really love to see this side of Electra.
Same.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing. Like, I don't think we would have gotten that from her. And I'm glad that we did, especially with, we'll talk about it, but, you know, especially now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We had Horacio, who brought one of her best friends. And this was the story that hit me until we got Generis. I'll say that.
Yeah.
This was the story that hit me the most because you saw, because Horacio got her videos last, and we saw that there was a little bit of uncomfortability, and she was just like, she was speaking very vaguely at first, and then eventually talks about how, you know, her parents were not part of the video.
Yeah.
And as someone who doesn't have the best relationship with their parents, not because I'm gay, but for a lot of other reasons, I definitely understood that. And I was like, oh, if I, like, it clicked for me a little bit, and it really it endeared me a lot to Horacio more than I already was. But I was just like, oh yeah, if I was on one of these shows, like, I don't think I would be getting a message from my parents. And that's really weird. But I'm happy that A, she got to see her drag mother last fucking week. And B, she has her friend now. Like, I'm really happy that Horacio was able to get that.
Yeah.
And her story just really, I related on a very deep level with what Horacio was talking about. So I was happy that she got the support that she needed. And let's be honest, her partner was cute as fuck.
Oh, fully. Everyone's partner was adorable. I will just say that just out of the bat, everyone was adorable and like incredible. Anyways, yeah, Horacio's story, it didn't hit me as hard as it did for you, Logan, but I also have kind of a rocky relationship with my parents for different reasons as well, not because I'm gay. But there's been a lot of things going on, and it also made me question, like, if I were on Drag Race, would my dad specifically, would my dad even choose to send a message? I think he would, but I don't think he would go out of his way to like be super excited about it or like really want to do it. And so having someone that like is able to like it did hit not as hard, but like it did hit like, oh, this is still happening. And for someone that's younger than me, just felt like I wanted to hug when I see her and be like, "You're gonna be okay." But also, I was really happy that she has her family, like her chosen family and her friends, and that she still has a lot of people that support her. So I was really happy that there was someone there for her.
Oh, if either of you
Yeah,
were
I
on
was gonna
TV
say-
right now, you'd be getting a video from me. Let's be real and honest
yeah,
here. I'm like, no,
absolutely.
you're getting a video from me, bitch. But-
But yeah, I was gonna say it did get me. It was really heartbreaking to see her going through that. But also, like when we were seeing her videos, we could see that like how many people love her and are there for her. So I'm really happy that she was able, because a lot of people don't. Like a lot of people either take a really long time to find the right people after they fall out with their family, so people never find the right. Like it's everyone is different for everyone. So I'm happy that for her, she was able to find a lot of people that love and support her. Um, but it's funny because to me, it made me really sad for a different reason, because my father passed away a year and a half ago, so we were already not speaking, but it also has nothing to do with like my sexuality, any of that. So it's kind of like whatever by now. My mom is like my best friend since forever. So I was imagining like, oh my God, I cannot even fathom not, like, if my mom was not in my life. So I was kind of like feeling for her in that sense of like, I couldn't even imagine what that feels like. So, but yeah.
And then the most positive of the stories, which we don't have to spend a whole lot on, was Eva and her best friend for years and years and years and years and years.
But the story is really cool, though. It's a really, really
sweet story.
Growing up together and then both being able to express their queerness at a later age. I love that. I think that's so. I think that's so fun, and that's really. It's really going to show a lot of younger queer youth, and specifically younger Mexican queer youth, that you can have those kinds of relationships and they're going to stay with you, and it's going to be something that can be an important part of your life for the rest of your life. And I love that Eva has that. So
it really shows just that like it's never too early or too late to just be who you are and to have these experiences, and that when you have a friend that also like has a similar experience, that you're just basically gonna be bonded and gonna have this a wonderful experience throughout. I really, really loved. It was adorable. It was so adorable. I did wish that we had Eva's husband, but at the same time,
I think that's an unfair advantage.
But I was gonna say I think it would be unfair
exactly
because she also does drag. So at the same time, I'm like,
her partner was in drag in the video. The queen that was in the middle of the video, that's Eva's partner, who also does drag. I don't remember her, something Blunt. I know it's Blunt.
Yeah, I also don't remember her name, but also
I'm gonna go look
applications
it up.
are open for season 3, please.
I hope.
God damn. But yeah,
I believe that it's a good storyline. Let's just be real and honest. Like,
it would be a great storyline, but also like I just want anyone from the House of Blunt to come back. But yeah,
absolutely.
It was adorable. It was an adorable story.
It was really nice to have one really heartfelt, heartwarming, good story with no negatives to it, basically, to kind of like balance everything out from the other ones, which are also like very nice. Not necessarily good stories, but like nice that we get to see them and then the queens get to share and all of that.
We get positive queer representation on a show like this. We can talk about queer experiences being positive because there are so many of them. And on Drag Race, especially to your point, exactly, River, they're not always shown. So when we do get like positive queer representation of like queer stories, I'm happy that we do get that. Her name is Amondi Blunt.
Amondi
Blunt,
please.
Yes, God. Okay, now here is trigger warning. This is the segment. There will be a chapter. We don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it, but I do want to acknowledge that we did get this conversation. So Janeri's conversation with her friend, who also was adorable, by the way. She opens up for kind of the first time since it's happened about her. And I'm not using the word because I don't want to diminish her experience. YouTube does weird things when a specific word is said. So that is why I'm not acknowledging it. But she was sexually assaulted. And because of that, ended up HIV positive.
Yes.
And what I will say...
And it took her a while to realize that had happened. That's what had happened.
Yes.
So, yeah.
As someone who has dealt with sexual assault and is also HIV positive, not connected experiences, but two very separate experiences. I mean, it endeared me to Janeri even more than I already was. Like, I always appreciate when the queens are so open about it on TV, because it is not an easy thing to acknowledge. And it's also not like, my first time acknowledging that on this podcast, but it is still a very I'm under a year of being HIV positive. So like, it is still a fairly fresh experience for me. So in a lot of ways, I know what she's dealt with. And it's one of those things you just can't understand unless you've been through it. And I felt for her so severely because I know how it felt to not want to tell people about it. And for her to wait 2 years without telling anybody, like, I couldn't ever. And I sent her an Instagram message after I watched the episode. And I was just like, thank you for being such a positive representation for other people that are HIV positive. Thankfully, it sounds like she is undetectable. I am as well. Thank God for modern medicine. But I really just, I feel for her and I resonate a lot with her. And that's literally why I'm wearing an AIDS Walk shirt today. Because I wanted to, acknowledge that as well. As if I couldn't love Janeri more. This moment, as tragic as it is for her, there was so much more relatability that I learned about from Janeri in this episode. And I appreciate her acknowledging and sharing her story like that.
Yeah. As yet again, someone that has also been sexually assaulted, and that it took me 6 years to really come to terms with it. It hit me hard. I was sobbing my eyes out, and I had to stop for a second because it just flashed me back to like the moment that it happened. And I am very thankful for Janeri for bringing it up and for being so open and real about it, because like we don't get a lot of like open conversations about this, and when it happens, it doesn't really ever get shown as like, I am a better person after this, and it happened, but I'm okay. It's always like viewed as like this like traumatic moment that is deterring me, and it's like bad that it happened. And like, yes, it is bad that it happened, but it's also like Janeri showed it in a way in which like, I'm okay. It happened and I felt awful while it was happening, but I've moved on past it, and that is something that is possible to do, that it is possible to like keep going besides all of this. It was very important for me to have that conversation because I'm still kind of not over it. My entire thing was like, I was kind of brainwashed into it, and I had a whole situation for like a year where I was constantly being sexually assaulted. And so it was a very tough situation. And so having someone like Janeri just be so open about it, it really showed me that it was going to be okay. And that I was going to just be able to move on past it. And that I was going to just have a better life, even despite all of this. So it made me like Janeri even more.
Yeah, I already loved her a lot as well. And this also made me more endeared to her. And as someone that unfortunately has also been sexually assaulted.
We picked the wrong people to be on today.
What can we See, but here's the thing. It's important that we're talking about, because my thing is,
Yes.
with me, it was a few times with a toxic relationship where you're talked into it, kind of, or whatever, or when you're into it at first, and then you ask the person to stop it, and they don't. That, and also as a person that has been an avid drug user for many years in the past, many things happened that I don't remember, but I know they happened. So it's hard, but I do. My thing is, I like when we have those moments on TV, because every time someone speaks up about it, it makes it easier for everyone else. So
yes,
Yeah.
and I mean,
we love you, Janari. We're with you. Like, love you, and yeah.
And I will say as well, to cap this, and then we can move on to more positive but also frustrating things when we'll talk about the runway. All three of us having this shared experience, being from 3 different countries, just kind of shows you how common it is in the queer community, which is not a good thing, and we really should stop.
Yeah.
But I love you both dearly, and as if we needed more things to have in common, I guess here's another one.
Here's another one. Trauma bonding.
I wish we didn't have in common, but
I wish we didn't have it. But,
I wish. Damn.
Yes.
Well.
But anyway, let's talk about the runway.
Yay!
A panel.
We have a panel.
And
how do we feel?
Okay.
All right. I was going to start with our segment that we always do when Eduardo is here. Who's the guest judge and why do we care about him?
Okay, so this is Benito Santos. He is a Mexican designer, like a very popular one.
Who made both Lolita and Tyga's gowns for this episode.
Which are amazing. And he has one collection that I really like, which is called Musa Numero Uno, which is just all red outfits, and it's beautiful. He's an incredible designer. And so I wish he was here for a design challenge instead of a makeover challenge.
Right.
But it makes sense for him to be here.
Or the ball. Or the ball.
It makes sense still for him to be here for like a kind of look challenge. And I think he did a really good job when it came to judging. I think he, yet again, another person that could replace Oscar Madrazo.
Can we please? Because I loved him in this episode.
Burrita,
I gotta be honest.
Please. Can we have Burrita instead of please?
Yeah. Anyways, he's a really good designer and one of the most famous like queer Mexican designers that we have.
I love that. Okay, cool. I love that. And it is once again time for Tyga versus Lolita. Now the score is what, 6-3?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
It
for
could
Tyga.
still tie on the season overall. I do have my pick for this episode. So.
I also have my pick.
River.
Shall I go first?
Yes.
I will say, this whole season it's been really close, basically every week. Really close.
Exception.
Yeah.
And this is no exception, period.
Because both of them look gorge.
Oh, gorge.
Girl. Ugh. But for this one, Lolita took it from me.
Okay.
Especially her makeup. I loved this week.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna disagree with you and go with Tyga. I really like Tyga's look. I love, I think it's just a really good look. I also agree that Lolita looks incredible as well. But I think since they're both kind of doing a flower theme this time around, I kind of like the way that like Lolita's dress looks better, because I kind of feel like I'm sorry, Tyga's dress looks better because I feel like Lolita's flowers kind of look, well, like the petals aren't my favorite way to do it, but I still think
okay, fair.
it's a really good look.
Mhm.
Anyways, I think both of them look great.
Okay. Well, I'm
Do you
excited.
mean the way that the flowers are shaped? Is that what you meant that you don't like?
Yeah, I don't like the
Okay,
way
got it. Got it. Okay,
the flowers are
That
shaped.
makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
got it.
I'm excited to be a tiebreaker here. I will say I really like both of these gowns. For me though, I'm gonna give it to Lolita because I really do. I
Fair.
think Taiga looks really cool. I don't like Taiga's hair here. I actually
Fair.
really don't. I think this is hair that hasn't looked good on Taiga, and Taiga's been consistently giving us good hair this season. So I was a little surprised. It just feels a bit to pull a term that currently being used. It felt a little too demure for Taiga.
Okay.
And it felt very. It
Yeah,
felt
I
very
wanted
Mother
it to
of the
be
Bride.
bigger.
It's very Mother of the Bride, and I didn't want that. This is really giving it. Taiga is the Mother of the Bride, and Lolita's about to get married.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
But they decided to do a swap because Lolita really just wanted to wear pink for her wedding day. I see what you mean about the flowers on Lolita's dress for sure, Eduardo. That's actually my favorite part.
Fair.
I
That's
really love
absolutely fair.
I don't think it's supposed to be like true petal shapes, and I love how organic it feels in this like bright hot pink, and that juxtaposition really, really did it for me. So
that's absolutely fair. They both look amazing, so
yeah.
I don't mind at all.
It is
Also,
still
this just shows
anybody. It could still tie.
Yeah, and
We
it
have
also
two
just
more
shows
episodes where it could.
it just shows that Benito is an incredible designer. That's
Oh,
why he's
yeah.
here.
Yes, God. Yes,
And
God.
I just wanted to say, Taiga looks like a goddess with this, like literal goddess with the dress.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely. Love.
Love her.
But yeah, so that means we are at 6-4 with a reunion and a finale left. Anything is possible. So, but let's dive into our runway. La categoría es luchadoras exóticas. Obviously, we are going to do our full review of the looks over on Look Over Here. So we're just going to give some brief thoughts and then talk about who we think should have been in the top, bottom, etc., etc. So first up, we have Lexa Fox and City Fox. Quick thoughts, starting with River.
The future is non-binary. The present is non-binary, and the past is as well. Period.
Incredible presentation. Truly. Incredible presentation.
Please tell me I wasn't the only one that didn't know that Lexa was non-binary before this episode, because I was not aware.
I also didn't know. I didn't know
either.
But I love it. Thank you, Diva.
Mm-hmm.
I love.
We stand.
I love.
Mm-hmm.
With 3 people on the panel that probably identify somewhat similarly to Lexa. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We said 6 people, get out this episode.
Leave. We said, David, Lana, goodbye.
But we love them and they'll be back for the finale, don't worry.
Yeah.
Them?
Yeah. Next up, Horacio Potasio and Rodrigo Te Digo. That came out of my memory somewhere.
Mm-hmm. This is fine.
It's cute. The wig is thirsty.
Now, why the fuck is Oscar Madrazo's ass up here saying that this is some of the most unique things we've ever seen on Drag Race?
Girl.
Have you watched the show, Tamar?
Tamar?
No. Sorry. Next.
But they look cute. Look cute, though.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
They look cute. Cute is the right way to describe this.
Not bad at all, but not that. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Janeri Bloom and Manola Bloom.
Janeri Bloom and Manola Bloom. Got it. I confused. Confusion.
Janeri, not a luchadora, almost at all. Hello?
Oh, at all.
It's a mini dress.
I know. Who who would get on in the ring with a mini dress?
Katy Perry, which is who she looks like again.
She needs to stop. She needs to stop.
I mean, she just looks like Katie, so we're not gonna. I'm not gonna judge her for that, because she just
Well, yeah.
does
her
look
face just
like
looks
that.
like
But
Katie.
who would wear a mini dress into a wrestling ring? Katy Perry.
Katy Perry,
Yes.
for sure.
Yes.
I'm gonna say this with the most love because I do think Manola actually looks real good here. Janeri
Did you
not
say Manola?
prepare.
Yeah, it's Manola.
I just saw Manila girl. No. Well, the hair. Not intentional, but no. I don't think Janeri had prepared for this scenario for Manu to be her makeover partner. I'll say that.
Yeah. We will get to it, but I agree.
We'll get there.
We'll get
She
there.
still looks good. The bitch looks good though. I'm not even gonna lie. The
Oh
bitch,
yeah.
The bitch
They do.
They do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Next up, Eva Blunt, and I don't remember her makeover partner's name. Blunt.
La Pálida. La Pálida
Thank
Blunt.
you. La Pálida Blunt. What does that
Eduardo,
mean?
does that mean white person as well?
Basically, yeah. It
And
means
Mexican?
like the
Okay.
pale one.
Work!
The
Oh,
pale.
it's pale white. Yeah.
I
yeah.
love.
Also, I found out that in both Spanish and Portuguese, we say marica for sissy or gay. I love that.
Work!
Love it.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Mhm.
I love
Marica,
that.
maricona, I love it. Yeah. This is that. This
Yeah.
is maricona for sure.
Oh.
And also
totally.
the light up makeup, bitch. Stop it.
We'll talk about it more and look over here because I could spend many minutes talking about it.
Oh,
She
hours.
did what needed to be done.
Where's my banner? Sorry,
There
River.
you go.
Other way. There we go.
She did what needed to be done.
One of the best makeover challenges I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
And last up, we have Elektra Vandergeld and Madame Marty Vandergeld. Yes,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah. I didn't write their names though.
I don't either.
I don't like this concept, but I do like the outfits.
Beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns. I don't know about the presentation.
She is the leotard bitch. She is the leotard bitch. Because I want to make that reference now and not bodysuit, my bodysuit. But I'm going to make both references here. So, it's fine.
Fair.
That's all I have to say on that. So, okay. We got to unfortunately talk about this judging where I agree with some things and not with others. I'm not even going to show. There is technically a top 3 for this episode, but I'm just going to acknowledge that by far, in a way, the winner, clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, was Eva Blunt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period.
Duh.
Period.
Duh.
There was no way for them to rig it around so that she didn't win this challenge, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I agree with this placement. I think Eva did one of the best makeovers that I've seen in a long time. So this was a really well-deserved win.
Yes.
Yeah. The outfit was not like incredible, but just like they said, like it wasn't about the outfit necessarily. I do feel like there's more to a makeover than just the garment. You know what I mean? Like it's the presentation, it's the hair, it's the makeup, it's the styling, it's all of that.
It's the transformation of the partner as well.
Exactly. The physical and like mental and like attitude, all of the like the whole transformation. So she had the best presentation, and in my opinion, that we could see the best connection to her partner.
Literally.
So, I agree.
Yeah, literally. Now we did talk about it with David, who is not here for this episode, obviously, because he's got other things to currently deal with. But we were all talking about who our runner-up would have been, because technically Horacio and Lexa were in the top with Eva. I'm curious who y'all would have had as your number 2. Because I will go ahead and say, because David asked me to say this, his top 2 was Eva and Electra for this challenge. So I'm curious what y'all thought the top 2 should have been.
Okay, for me, taking into account the presentation and the performance that was done on the main stage, as well as the look, for me, it was Lexa. I think Lexa had a really, really good presentation of it. I think her getting carried by her sister was amazing. And so taking that into account, my runner-up would have been Lexa.
For the same reasons, literally agree 100%. And one thing that I do want to add that I think, for me, I did prefer Eva's presentation better, but for me, Lexa and her partner had the most fun on stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you could tell they had definitely had the most fun.
Yeah.
Same, for the same reasons. So I also think the messaging behind it too, I think really plays into it as well. And what Lexa was talking about the luchador culture being very, very like machismo, masculine based, bringing in that non-binary energy, just I love it so much. So that I agree, that would have been my
And I would say one thing that goes into my reasoning for judging this challenge specifically is that for me, I place people higher if there's a concept. And then if I like the concept, I like it even more. So for me, it would be Eva, Alexa, then Electra, because I didn't like the concept, but at least there was one. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, and then the bottom would be Horacio and Janeri for me, because the looks were not bad, but there was no concept. It was just outfits. You know what I mean?
I also have to agree. I do think that.
Yeah.
Well, I think Electra's only issue was the presentation of it, which is why I said I really like the look. The presentation is a little bit of a struggle, because if she had presented it like a little differently, I think she would have been super safe, and Horacio would have been in the bottom.
Yeah, she would have been able to sell it if the presentation was different. And for me, they were the 2 people that looked like they were having the least fun on the runway.
I agree.
So.
Yeah,
I agree. I will say, I think Janeri's partner definitely did a really, really good job. Janeri just seemed a little checked out. And I think, honestly, a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that she was injured.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Like, because I think that's going to weigh into your mind when something like that happens. And it's absolutely understandable. She just needed to not be in her head so much, in the same way that I needed Electra not to be in her head. Ultimately, I understand why both of them were in the bottom 2. I personally, based on looks and performance and concept and the transformation itself, I thought Electra's transformation of Marty was maybe the best physical transformation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the face, in the attitude, I really loved what Marty was selling. It's just and I understand the comment about it not being balanced. For me, all I needed Electra to do was to give Marty the cape. That's all I would have needed. And I honestly think they wouldn't have said anything like that. But also, for me, it was kind of clear they didn't want Electra in the top 4. So,
I mean, yeah, this kind of challenge is also very easily, like, I guess the word rigged is the...
And this is why I hate the makeover challenge. Because it always goes, and it usually goes that my least favorite person wins the challenge, and the person I love the most went home. Now, I love Eva, so I'm happy she won because she was the rightful winner. And then one of my favorites goes home.
Yeah.
But truthfully, I wouldn't have wanted either of these girls to go home. I wouldn't want any of this top 5 to go home, because they're all great. And they're all wonderful. I wouldn't have wanted a 5-way finale lip sync, so I guess it's fine. But what we do get is Electra and Janeri lip syncing to Azul Caramargo by Faye. which is a song I've heard on a drag television program earlier this year.
And I've heard it since I was a child. I had a
And this was a much better lip sync.
flashback. I mean,
No
we talked
shade.
about it.
Yeah.
I think Drag Race Mexico just surpasses La Más Draga, like leaps and bounds when it comes
in
to
a
lip
lot
syncs.
of ways. There are still a lot of really, really good, especially from season 6 of La Más Draga. There are a lot of really, really good lip syncs, and there's one specifically that I still remember that is my absolute favorite. It was in my top like 10 of last year.
That's fair.
And that was, I don't know if either of you've seen it. It was when they did Slow Mo by Chanel.
Oh, I did see it.
And it was Catriona and La Kylie's. I would recommend going to watch that lip sync. And if you haven't, go watch our coverage of La Más Draga, because we cover La Más Draga and Solo Las Más as well. So, but yeah, this lip sync was really good.
Mhm.
Another really good lip sync from two really good lip syncers.
Yes.
I have to say though, the moment Janeri walked Electra like a dog, it was over. It was over. It was over. It was over.
At first,
That
I
was
kind of
her
scared.
Kylie tripping on her coat moment, and then that was that moment for her. That was that.
Yeah, at first
sure.
I was scared because Janeri was taking off parts of her outfit and kind of like it looked a little bit messy, and I got scared because I was like, oh no, is Janeri just about to struggle with her outfit the entire song? But then she absolutely killed it. So like it made sense for me that like Janeri ended up staying, but I was devastated to say the least.
Yeah. And then she had like streamers up her somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Right? Like
she pulled them out.
Somewhere.
The sun. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah.
And Electra did so well too. That's the thing. Is like Electra
yeah.
is such a good lip syncer. But unfortunately, I think Janeri would have had to walk off stage. It's a very similar scenario to last week. They just wanted to get rid of Electra. Let's put the girl with 3 wins in the bottom with her, rightfully deserved, to send her home. And unfortunately, that is what happened. And I'm sad about it.
I'm devastated.
I am
devastated.
I am sad, but I'm also thinking Electra is a very strong contender for a global versus the world if she speaks English, or if they do a Mexican All-Stars. So, well, period. Or if they decided to do Mexico All-Stars as well. I can see her coming back for sure. Or España. Yeah. I can see her coming back for sure. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. The moment that she went home, I was like, oh, if they ever do like a returning season and they need someone from Mexico, they're probably going to call Electra. Let's be so for real.
They should. They should.
And they should. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I love Electra. I've really loved getting to know her on this season. I'm excited to go watch her also on... Or no, she wasn't on La Más, was she?
She was.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, I'm excited to go watch her La Más season. Whenever we end up getting to that. I have to say though, I just feel a little, I feel like I don't know her as well as I do the top 4. That's ultimately what I come away with, is just like, I want to know more about Electra. I want to learn more. I want to experience more of Electra's drag perspective and, you know, the art that she brings. And I don't feel like she was ever really able to completely show that. So I am also very much so like, I would love to see her again. I would love to see her judged by RuPaul, honestly, because I think RuPaul would fall in love with her.
Oh,
I really
RuPaul would love her.
I think she is also a very strong contender for the RuPaul You Were Born to Do Drag thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She could be one of.
I feel like
I can see it.
Most of this top 5 could get that.
Her and Arasu especially, I think.
Yeah. I also think that Lexa could also get that treatment of
Lexa.
You Were Born to Do Drag. Because it's always like this small, younger queen that has like a really good concept.
It either would be Horacio or Alexa from this cast. So.
Yeah, honestly. But I also think that Electra could also get it. And I also think that maybe Emma could get it, but like it would be kind of a little bit different. But
I think RuPaul would be obsessed with Electra in a similar way that she was obsessed with Crystal Versace.
I think
I
so
think.
too.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so too. Absolutely. But
Mhm.
that has shooken up some things in the draft. Not much. I'm just gonna go ahead and say there's 2 episodes left and there's a finale. I think I won the draft.
Probably. Honestly, what a difference from last season to this one.
I know, literally. Lana is still in last. I will say though, David is now in 3rd place.
Yes, I'm second.
Yeah, so David is now in third place with 82.5 points. Eduardo is in second with 83. It is a half-point difference.
I'm still winning.
And well, you're not winning because I'm beating you by 30 points because I have 113 points.
Well, I'm
And,
beating David, and that's all I care
I
about.
don't know how the fuck that happened.
How did
I
you do
honestly
that?
don't
How did you do
I
that?
don't know.
What the fuck?
It's because I have Electra, Eva, and Lexa.
Oh, okay.
And I had Suculenta.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah. But it's still no, it's not anybody's game.
It's not, you're winning.
No,
this round.
it's not.
It's not anybody's
I
game.
It's
just
your
don't-
game, babe. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll take
At,
it.
at
Thank
this point, I
you.
just want to beat David. I'm gonna be so for real. I just wanna
Right.
beat David.
Right.
That is so real. I
So
love
fair
that.
and based.
So
fair and based.
relatable.
So we do have our top 4. It's Lexa, it's Horacio, it's Eva, and it is Gennari.
Yeah.
And we have a surprise next week, apparently.
It's a reunion.
Oh,
It has to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
but they did reveal that there is I don't know. I don't know what the twist is, but next week it has to be a reunion.
Yeah. Next week we're probably
So-
gonna get the reunion, but I think what they're
Oh, I
saying
forgot
is
they
that-
literally said that there was a surprise. I don't know what the surprise is.
they did. Yeah. So
I'm sorry, I completely spaced that.
a reunion is expected. So I wouldn't I wouldn't think that the reunion is a surprise, but we'll see.
I don't know.
Maybe it's not a top 4 lip sync for the win. I don't know.
Maybe
I
there's
wanna-
a challenge for the finale or something. What
Maybe
else?
it's a lip sync SmackDown. I wouldn't with these 4.
Maybe it's an
I
acting
wouldn't-
With
challenge.
these four,
I don't
with
know.
These four,
No, not an acting challenge. No, thank you.
No.
But I do want to look at track record.
Oh, hell yeah.
Track
Ooh.
record. Ooh.
Ooh.
We got Eva up at the top there on the visual.
Mother.
Never placing below safe.
Slay.
We
Mhm.
have Horacio with 2 bottoms and a low and 2 wins. Eva with 2 wins. Lexa with 1 win, a fairly consistent track record, only 1 bottom placement. And Gennari, 3 wins, no high placements, and 2 bottoms. So I'm going to be real honest with y'all. I think anyone could win.
I agree. I was really thinking, like, I don't know, because there's
Any of them could win.
you could argue that
I love that. I love
Yeah,
not
I love
having
it
like
too.
a clear front runner. Oh, so good.
yeah.
Unlike last season.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so refreshing from last season having like half
Yeah.
of the season you were like, okay, Christian is gonna win. This time,
So, okay, with Christian's 4th win, cool, she's winning the season.
yeah,
Great.
absolutely. And so this time it feels more like spaced out, and it feels like anyone's game.
It really feels like anybody's game,
And-
and I'm a really big fan of that.
And I would be happy with any of these 4 winning.
Me too. Me too.
I
Yeah.
would be so happy with anyone
I
winning.
am rooting for someone though. I would be
I
happy with
was
any of them
going to
winning,
ask.
but
I was going.
Mhm.
I was going to ask. River, who do you think should be Mexico's next drag superstar, and why?
I think Eva Blunt should be Mexico's next drag superstar because in my head she already is. Period.
That's so fair. That's so fair.
Eduardo, who do you think should be Mexico's next drag superstar, and why?
Well, I love all of these queens, and as I said, I would be happy with any of them winning. But I've known this queen since before she started doing drag.
Yeah.
She's around my age. She is representative of the queer youth of Mexico. I think Horacio Potasio should be Mexico's next drag superstar.
And what about
Okay,
you,
cool. I
Logan?
guess no one. I was like, no one's asking me the question. I guess that's
Hello,
thanks.
Logan. Please tell me who's Mexico's next drag superstar and why.
Oh my god, I totally wasn't expecting to answer this question. I like y'all have said, I love all four of these queens. I would be so fine with any of them winning. For me, I think the person that has consistently shown their talent this season and has consistently shown who they are as a person, for me, I think the best representative of this season to win is Janari Bloom.
That's so fair.
I do love that we all have different answers, though. I will say that.
Because we all agreed that any of them can win, and we would be happy. So that makes sense.
And I'm gonna probably safely guess, and David, comment below. I'm gonna safely guess that if David was here, he would have said Lexa. Honestly,
Maybe.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. I
wouldn't be shocked. Yeah.
I don't know who.
Out of all of us, I think he's the one that likes Lexa the most, right? We all do like her,
100%.
but I think he's the one that's like, he's like the most
I agree.
Lexa stan.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I do love that we're all giving different answers. We will be back in 2 weeks to talk about the finale. We're not going to do a separate reunion episode. We will probably still talk about the looks over on our Look Over Here in 2 weeks for the reunion. But we don't do dedicated reunion episodes. So we'll take next week off of Mexico. We will be back in 2 weeks to talk about the finale. I'm sad it's over.
Yeah,
Me too. I am loving this season. I am depressed that it's ending. I wanted it to be twice as long.
But don't worry,
So good.
if you want more Mexican drag, there's Global All Stars.
And also, La Más Draga season 7 is gonna
7.
come out soon. So don't worry. Don't
I'm like, we
worry.
are getting La Más Draga soon. So, but with that being said, thank you for joining us for this recap of episode 10. We'll be back next in 2 weeks to talk about the finale, like I already said. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on your way out. Check out the description below for where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch. None of us have it, but it is a cup mug. If you've watched one of our episodes, you've seen it before. Link in the description below. With that being said, we're going to get out of here. So, cheers.
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 Salud.
Adios.
Nos vemos.
Ciao, maricas.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.